So Bryan Watson out here with the Protection and Maneuver Support Expo. We've been talking to a lot of folks in ERDC. One of the areas of our Engineer Research Development Center that people don't really fully understand is CRREL. So this Army lab, part of ERDC, really looks at cold regions and how the Army can function in cold regions. And I'm with Orion. Orion, talk about the breadth of things that you guys deal with at CRREL.
Sure. So we cover anything that has to do with the cold. We are the DoD's only lab focused on the cold. We do everything from biology, looking at microbes in permafrost and how we need to respond to them if we do, looking at concrete and how you can cure concrete in the cold for rapid runway repair, or if you need to build something, to vehicle mobility and how you can traverse a snowfield or traverse a lake and understand what's possible with what vehicle of ours or our adversaries. So we are a lab of only about 200 people focused really on that domain. We tend to partner a lot with experts across ERDC, across DevCom, but when it comes to the cold and understanding what is unique about operating in that environment, we are the world experts in that.
Yeah, so and it's fascinating because every vehicle, every piece of equipment that the Army purchases and fields has to be able to function in a cold environment. And it's your lab that helps understand what that environment does to that piece of equipment, but then also how we can mitigate the effects of that environment on that piece of equipment or that soldier.
Right. That's absolutely right. And we do everything from at our headquarters in Hanover, New Hampshire. We've got cold rooms. We'll soak vehicles down to minus 80 degrees Celsius or minus 60 degrees Celsius and figure out if you can even get them to start. We're all over Alaska and Norway and Sweden and Finland, testing vehicles and testing sensors and UAS and really, again, anything you can imagine, understanding how it works in the cold and what different issues you have to be able to deal with.
Yeah, it's fascinating. And so one of the things we were talking about is the ability to take two sensors and really put them on some sort of platform, whether that's a UGV or whatever. But now, because of the bandwidth of those two sensors, we're now able to actually predict what is the traffic ability and the sustainability, or what kind of traffic a snowfield can actually pass. Can you talk about that just a little bit?
That's right. So our vehicle mobility team has really been focused on this problem a lot lately. How do you, especially in a passive way, look forward and understand if you're going to be able to drive through a snowfield or not? And we've had a lot of luck recently using shortwave infrared as a sensing technology because it reflects differently off of different types of snow, especially when combined with a thermal camera or a RGB camera. We can develop algorithms that actually do pretty well, and we have autonomous test platforms right now that we are driving around in the snow using these different sensors and largely finding success.
Yeah, and
even
so you're able to do some predictions about, exactly. Okay, this is the size of force that we could maintain some level of mobility through the snowfield. And the same thing for ice bridging, because everything we know about ice bridging has come from CRREL.
Yeah, that's right. And we have active research in that area right now as well, using a handful of different sensors. One of the main things is, how do you tell how thick the ice is in a different area? Do you have a spring coming up under the ice somewhere that's actually going to create a weak spot, and you got to avoid it? And we can do that from UAS. We can't get down to that granularity with the satellite, but we can do a lot with the satellite and plan different routes over frozen bodies of water.
Yeah, so I mean, I've been where we're going across the river and you go, well, I think we could make it across.
That's right. Yeah.
You guys have cut that we know we can get it across. So that's fantastic.
Right. Yeah.
Well, listen, I want to appreciate everything you guys do at CRREL for us. It is a very niche laboratory, but one that the Army could not operate without. So thanks again so very much. Bryan, it's good meeting you.
Thanks for having me.